Hi Pisces, welcome to your love reading for October 2019. Let's go ahead and see what is coming up for you. This is a love reading for the sign of Pisces for October 2019. The first card that you have, Pisces, is the Ten of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Pisces for October. Six of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Pisces for October. Five of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Pisces for October. Three of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Pisces for October. Seven of Rods. Love reading for the sign of Pisces for October. Nine of Rods. Love reading for the sign of Pisces for October. The High Priest, which is actually the Hierophant. Love reading for the sign of Pisces for October. Knight of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Pisces for October. And the Seven of Swords. Okay, what's the most important thing that Pisces needs to hear about their love life for October 2019? The message that you have, Pisces, is the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is telling you that things can change very quickly, very unexpectedly. I see that you have a lot of things going on here. I mean, I haven't even gotten into the reading, but I see that you're going through something really difficult. So the Knight of Swords is saying that all of this can just change in the blink of an eye. So just be prepared. So I'll come back to this card in a minute and see how it ties in with everything else. If you would like a private reading with me, there's a link down below. Just scroll and you'll see a link to channeledguidance.com. Okay, so let's start with the top row here. You have the Ten of Wands, Six of Swords, and Five of Pentacles. So, I mean, you're starting off with this energy that there's something going on in your love life right now where you're really fed up. You've really had enough. The Ten of Wands is kind of a feeling of being overburdened, and you feel like you really can't put any more energy into a relationship. There's a lot of pain here with the Five of Pentacles. There's a lot of suffering, but the good news is that this can actually change in the month of October. You have the Six of Swords. This is exactly what you want to see between something like this. The Six of Swords is saying that there's a chance for you in the month of October to get away, to move away from a really difficult situation in your love life. Or maybe, kind of a very difficult individual who's causing trouble in your relationship. The Six of Swords is movement in a much healthier direction, because this is not healthy and this is not healthy. There's something going on with the Five of Pentacles where you are suffering. This is a card of emotional poverty, and it does usually come up when somebody just feels like, a door has been slammed in their face. Somebody has completely shut you out of their life. And it can be that for some of you, you've been dealing with this for some time and you've really had it with the Ten of Rods. Maybe you're tired of somebody's behavior, you're tired of somebody rejecting you. With the Ten of Rods, you feel like you just can't do this anymore. But again, Six of Swords is saying this can change in the month of October. Now in the second row, you have the Three of Swords, Seven of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. So, there is heartache again. You have the Three of Swords. Some of you could be watching this because maybe you've been through a breakup. This is the breakup card, the divorce card, but also just represents heartache and pain. So this is tying in with the Five of Pentacles. There is heartache for the sign of Pisces. But you are being told here that you need to fight back. You have the Seven of Rods, which means that you're not being treated fairly by the person that you love. There's a need for you to really speak up and stand your ground with this person. There's something where, this person is walking all over you. It is time for you to fight back. But unfortunately, we see the Nine of Wands here, which means that you might be too afraid to say something. You might be too afraid to speak your mind. Remember, something wants to change for you in the month of October, but it's not going to change if you don't really speak your truth. Maybe some of you even need to take action. Remember, the main energy was the Knight of Swords, which means that anything can happen in the month of October. Things can change very quickly. The Knight of Swords is like the Tower. So you might be in a really painful place. Three of Swords and Five of Pentacles. Maybe you're treated unfairly. But you do need to speak up here because you have the possibility of things improving for you. Now in the bottom row, you have the Hierophant, the Knight of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. So the Hierophant, this is telling you that you have found a kindred spirit or a soulmate. It also means that you feel a strong sense of belonging with somebody. You also have the Knight of Cups, This is, you know, a positive movement, positive change in your love life. This could be somebody sweeping you off your feet. There's a strong connection here. I mean, I definitely see that with the Hierophant and the Knight of Cups, but there's also deceit. I feel like I should get a confirmation card for this, because for some of you, this can be that maybe the person that you're with is in denial. Sometimes the Seven of Swords can represent someone who's in denial, someone that doesn't want to see the truth, but sometimes it represents outright deceit. Someone is being two-faced. But it honestly feels more like there's something that someone does not want to see. There's a strong connection here. This Knight of Cups wants to sweep somebody off their feet, wants to propose, wants a relationship. And the Hierophant is, you know, that feeling of this is a person I belong with, but somebody is not seeing it with the Seven of Swords. Somebody is looking the other way. Again, something is not fair to the sign of Pisces. Let me get one card to confirm the Seven of Swords right here to see what this means for you. What confirmation is there for the Seven of Swords? What does this represent for the sign of Pisces? A new beginning. I mean, this definitely feels like somebody's in denial. Somebody does not want to see the possibility of a new beginning. Or somebody, because it's the Fool, somebody's not willing to take a risk and maybe starting over with you. If this is an ex that you're wondering about, because the Fool is taking a giant risk in a new beginning. So I feel like here somebody's in denial. Somebody is kind of denying that feeling from the Hierophant that this is, you know, this is where I belong, or this is, you know, someone that I feel is a soulmate, or this is someone that I want to sweep off their feet with the Knight of Cups. I feel like the Seven of Swords, seeing the Fool as confirmation that this is about somebody not believing their own feelings, somebody not willing to take that risk, somebody is in denial. Okay, so let me get a few more cards and see what else comes up for the sign of Pisces. Let me just put the Fool back in here. What other messages are there for the sign of Pisces for October 2019? You have the Devil. What other messages are there for the sign of Pisces for October? The Queen of Cups. What other messages are there for the sign of Pisces for October? And the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so let's look at these. Now with the Devil, you could be dealing with the sign of Capricorn. But the Devil definitely also, it ties in with the difficult energy that we see here. The Ten of Rods, the Five of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, the Seven of Rods. I feel like there's something that's bringing the sign of Pisces down. And the Devil can be, you know, just there's a lot of negative energy, maybe around the person that you love. Maybe, again, you're being treated unfairly here. Your energy has popped up here as the Queen of Cups. If you have a partner who's also a water sign, this can represent them, but I feel like it's you. Because we have the Seven of Pentacles here, I'm tying this back in with the Ten of Rods. I feel like the sign of Pisces has really had it with the person that you love. It could be that you're tired of waiting, or you're tired of not being treated fairly. Because we have the Seven of Pentacles. This means that you're looking at things very carefully. You're making some type of decision in the month of October. Now you've also got, let's see here, you've got 3 sevens. Look at this. I'll put one right here. You've got 3 sevens. The sevens represent choices, decisions, and change. I feel like you're making a decision about a relationship. And some of you, again, I feel like you just had it with somebody's behavior. Some of you are ready to move on. I got the same message for the sign of Cancer, which I just posted before your reading. I feel like there's just a lot of negativity. It could be that there's a lot of pain in a relationship that where you are kind of, you're starting to really make decisions here. You're starting to look very carefully at what somebody has done or how they have treated you. And some of you, maybe you're just, you know, you're not willing to wait anymore, even though there is, you know, this really strong spiritual connection with someone, with the Hierophant being here. Remember, I did confirm the Seven of Swords, and it seems like somebody is in denial about a new beginning. Like somebody is just kind of pushing you away. Somebody's just not really seeing you for who you really are. The Seven of Swords is just someone who's sticking their head in the sand. So I feel like the sign of Pisces is hurting. 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords. You're hurting, but I also feel like you're tired. And some of you may be kind of looking at the possibility of just kind of moving away. You're looking at your love life very carefully in the month of October. And I feel like you're looking at those things that are really painful. You're thinking somebody doesn't deserve you. You're thinking that you can do better. And some of you, I feel like some of you will be standing up to the person that you love because you have the Seven of Rods. But some of you, you know, you want to stay in your safe place. So you will be holding on to see if things get better. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some cards from the confirmation deck and let's see what comes up there. What other messages are there for the sign of Pisces for October? You've got the Sun. What other messages are there for the sign of Pisces for October? The Moon. What other messages are there for the sign of Pisces for October? And the Ace of Wands. Okay, what's the most important thing that Pisces needs to hear about their love life for October 2018? Death. So, I mean, I feel like this is positive for you because death is saying that there can be a huge transformation in whatever it is that you're going through. And it seems like the sign of Pisces is going through something really difficult. Remember, things can change very quickly. The other main energy was the Knight of Swords. So death is saying there does have to be the end of something. It could be the end of negativity, since we have the Devil here. The end of unfair behavior, because you have the Seven of Rods. The end of pain. The end of somebody pushing you away. Death is saying there can be a huge transformation, but there does have to be some type of ending. Okay, so let's look at these three cards. So you have the Sun, the Moon, and the Ace of Wands. So even though you've had some really challenging cards, the Sun is saying there can still be success. This is the most positive card of the entire deck. So this is saying there can still be happiness. There can still be positive energy and love between you and the person that you want. We have the Moon here, which represents your energy as well. So, but the Moon is also saying that there's a lot of things that Pisces is not aware of when it comes to the person that you love. There can still be a new beginning. You have the Ace of Wands. To me, the Ace of Wands is kind of, wiping the slate clean, starting over. Even though there has been a lot of pain here with the Five of Pentacles. Maybe somebody completely shut you out of their lives. They broke your heart with the Three of Swords. There can still be a new beginning with the Ace of Wands. And like I said, some of you are going to decide to wait with the Nine of Wands. You don't want to let go of this person because you feel like you feel safe with this person. This is your safe place. And others, I feel like others will be kind of making a decision with the Seven of Pentacles. You're going to be looking at their behavior, everything that's happened. Some of you are feeling like I don't want to do this anymore. I've been doing this for too long and I feel like moving on with the Ten of Rods. Okay, so let's see if anything else stands out and then we will move on to the X spread. So, I mean, one thing that I hadn't noticed here is that you've got two fives. You've got the Five of Pentacles here, and the Hierophant or the High Priest is also 5. So the 5s to me, they represent obstacles. So there could be, blocks. Something could be blocking your love life, or someone could be blocking your love life from moving forward. And I feel like if that's what's going on, like somebody is just not paying attention with the Seven of Swords. Somebody is being their own worst enemy by refusing to meet you halfway, or refusing to act, refusing to see their behavior. Again, it just seems like the sign of Pisces, you have been suffering and you're tired. You're tired and you're fed up with the way things have been. Just keep in mind that there's a chance in the month of October of you moving towards something much healthier. Now, when I said that, I feel like for some of you, things can improve with the person that you're with. If this is an X, we're going to do the X spread next, so we'll see that. But for some of you, it can be that there is a new relationship that will be a much healthier relationship for you. And for some of you, that could be what we're seeing here with the Knight of Cups. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the X spread. Okay, so let's see what's going on with you and your ex. Show us the energies between Pisces and their ex for October 2019. First card you have, Pisces, is the Emperor. Pisces and their ex for October. 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 Okay, so this is what we have. So something, it's kind of strange here. But let's start at the top, and then we will work our way down. We have the Emperor, the Three of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. So again, it just seems like, when you're dealing with an ex here, someone who's no longer in your life. We have the Emperor, which is all about taking control, taking charge, because I feel like you've been waiting. In the first spread, if you go back and watch, you started with the Ten of Wands, which means that you're you're burnt out, you feel like giving up. And for some of you, this can be that you're, that still applies to you because you've been waiting. The Three of Wands is all about waiting. You've been waiting for this person to come around. You've been waiting for this person to contact you. It's created a lot of stress. You have the Nine of Swords, a lot of agonizing. It's been keeping you awake at night. And I see the sign of Pisces like really taking their power back in the month of October. The Emperor is kind of saying like no more. This is what I was seeing in the first spread with the Seven of Pentacles, which actually is right here. Like you're making some type of decision, like, you're looking at things very carefully, and some of you could be deciding to move on. But the Emperor just means that you're taking some type of action towards your ex in the month of October because you've been waiting for so long. You've been agonizing. Now look at this next row here. We've got the Three of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. So there's still a lot of heartache here. You have the Three of Swords. It could also be that you're dwelling maybe on the breakup, on the pain. You've not been able to move on. I see here that you're still holding on. You have the Four of Pentacles. You're still holding on. Some of you, you're willing to wait still. You have the Eight of Pentacles. There's a lot of work to do on this relationship if it's going to work. And it can work. And let me just show you what I'm looking at down here. 9 and 10 of Cups right next to each other. So this is a lot of happiness. And, it's kind of strange because we're asking about an ex, someone who's no longer in your life. And I see you being extremely happy. I mean, the 10 of Cups means that you're in a very happy and fulfilling relationship. The 9 of Cups is, wish fulfillment, your wishes coming true, especially if you're dealing, if your ex is an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. If you're deciding to wait for somebody, let's just start here. If you're deciding to wait, know that there is a whole lot of work to do here with the Eight of Pentacles. And there's waiting as well with the Three of Wands. I feel like you've been through a lot and you've done a lot of stressing. If you're going to wait for someone where things can actually still work out, 9 and 10 of Cups. If you're willing to wait, just know that there's going to be a lot of stress and heartache. But I do feel like there's something maybe you need to do with the Emperor being the first card. You got to take your power back. It could be that you've given this person way too much power, and they've just kind of left chaos behind them. So just, with this energy here, you're just, you're in a place where you're just in your head. You're imagining the worst. Some of you could be fearing that, it's over for good. You're never going to get your ex back. But I see down here that there's actually the possibility of something changing. 9 and 10 of Cups. And for some, especially if your ex is an earth sign, but for others, it doesn't have to be. It just, there's a possibility here of you being happy. Just know that there is some waiting and there's a lot of work to do in this relationship. Okay, so let me get a few more. Pisces and their ex for October. Pisces and their ex for October. Pisces and their ex for October. Okay, so we've got a court card here, the Queen of Wands, which would be a fire sign. Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. You've got a new beginning and victory. So at the bottom we had an earth sign, but now we have a fire sign. And you have, this energy of the Six of Wands. This means that any obstacles that you've been facing, no matter what they are, whether they are another person or, maybe your ex has not been treating you fairly. We saw that in the first spread. This means that these obstacles can be worked out. I do see a new beginning for you here with the Ace of Cups. There can be a new beginning. Just know again that you're waiting. There's waiting involved. And of course, there's, a lot of work to do to build up this relationship. Let's see. For others, with it being the Queen of Wands here, this ties in with the first card. If your ex is not a fire sign, it could also represent you if you have a moon or rising in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. It could be that maybe you have some part to play in getting back together. Maybe you need to let them know you still care. Maybe you need to take some type of action. Again, the Emperor and the Queen of Wands are very similar. Even though this is a court card and the Emperor is a major arcana, they are all about action, taking control, taking your power back, self-confident energy. It could be that some of you, maybe you need to let your ex know you still care, that you want to get back together. If you don't, it could be that things don't change for you. Okay, let's get a few more cards from the confirmation deck. Let's see what comes up here. What other messages are there for the sign of Pisces about their ex for October 2018? Six of Wands. That's interesting that it's a repeat card because the other one is right here. Pisces and their ex for October. Knight of Wands. Pisces and their ex for October. Seven of Swords. I mean, yeah, this is what I was saying, because to me, the Knight of Wands, this is exactly like the Emperor and the Queen of Wands. That's what I was saying. If your ex is not a fire sign, this is someone taking action. The Knight of Wands is someone who never takes his eye off the prize, and the prize would be your ex. This is someone who's going to refuse to give up. Keep in mind that in the first spread that I did for you, the very first card was telling me that you feel like giving up. You feel like just kind of walking away from the whole thing. Here it is. This was the first card in the first spread that I did for you, the Ten of Rods, which means that you're burnt out and you feel like you're not going to do this anymore. The Knight of Wands is that opposite energy of I'm going to keep trying, die or keep trying. This is refusing to back down. There is a victory here 2 times. So I feel like the sign of Pisces, you can reunite with an ex. Whatever obstacles that you're dealing with, you can work through them. And some of you, I mean, because this card also came up in the first spread, here it is right here. Remember, I got a confirmation card for it, and it was actually the Fool. I feel like there's some, perhaps your ex is maybe kind of not seeing what you're seeing, or they're kind of being their own worst enemy right now. For some of you, this waiting could be why we have the Seven of Wands. Sorry, the Seven of Swords. Perhaps your ex is in this energy right now where they're kind of in denial. Maybe they feel that the relationship's not going to work out. For some, I mean, if you and your ex broke up because there was cheating, this is someone who is kind of two-faced, sneaky, underhanded, someone who is their own worst enemy. It could be that you need to overcome that obstacle first, and there's waiting. But I feel like for some of you, your ex is just in denial. It could be that they're in a negative place. I mean, this card can definitely apply to them. Feel free to kind of rearrange everything that I said. It could be that your ex is in a place where they're just kind of thinking it's over and there's no way to fix this. But I see someone here with the Knight of Wands. I see someone who's refusing to back down, refusing to give up. And because of that, you've got the Six of Wands 2 times. There can be a victory. Just keep that in mind. There can be a victory no matter what it is that went wrong in your relationship. There can be success, but you might have to really take control here. It could be that you really need to sit your ex down. You really need to talk about your feelings. There is a lot of work to do. There is, there's pain, there's a lot of agonizing, and there is waiting. This is something that may not work itself out in the month of October. There's waiting. Because I feel like the sign of Pisces is dealing with something complicated. I think you had the Moon in the first spread, and the Moon does usually mean that there's a lot of confusion. Maybe there's a lot of things about your ex that you're not aware of. I'm pretty sure that we had the Moon in there. So just kind of keep that in mind. There could be things going on with your ex that maybe you're not aware of, especially if this person, like you've had no contact with them. There could be a lot of changes in their life that you're not aware of. Some of you, you're waiting, but with the Three of Wands, you're not waiting in vain. Okay, Pisces, this has been your love reading for October 2019. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.